As of right now, there are nearly 200 missing persons cases that are still unsolved in New Mexico and the Navajo Nation, 127 men and 70 women. Since last July, around 650 individuals who identify as Native Americans have been entered by law enforcement as missing persons. Now, it's been nearly a year since the FBI Albuquerque started the MMIP project, which involves releasing the list of all missing individuals on the FBI's website. Now, the FBI, along with 8 other law enforcement agencies, are conducting a special operation in a race against time to locate these men and women. A huge part of that operation is turning to the homeless population to possibly locate them. So this brings us now to this week's Eye on the FBI, and we really wanted to focus on FBI Albuquerque's work, exactly what is involved in solving such a huge caseload. So joining me now this morning is Special Agent in Charge Raul Buhanda, Supervisory Intelligence Analyst Ryan Summers, and Intelligence Analyst Don Metzmeyer. Always great to have you guys on.
Yeah,
so,
thanks for having us.
First of all, talking about this issue, why do you think that there is such a huge caseload of MMIP cases here?
So one of the things when I came into the state as an outsider, you get to see the beautiful landscapes that is New Mexico, and you get to see a very diverse population. The FBI's responsibility is to make sure we're protecting the rights of everyone. And we want to make sure that people are being seen and heard in the manner in which they want to be seen and heard. The one great thing when I'm coming into the state, that the state and the AG's office, the state AG's office, had already done a lot of great work through the MMIWR task force, which is a missing and murdered Indigenous women and relatives task force. So they already had set the framework for us to be able to take it to the next level and to start addressing those concerns of individuals who have been impacted through crime throughout the many years.
Do you have any sort of benchmark on how you measure success?
So I'll turn it over to the experts here for Ryan and Don to really give those data points.
In a lot of ways, sort of businesses and organizations, we're no different on that respect. So we do look at sort of those statistics and some of those measurable items. But for this project specifically, we had to look at it a little bit differently, and it really fell upon partner engagement and community impact. That's how we sort of measure our success on this issue.
And so you mentioned the partner engagement. So what does that look like?
So partner engagement is really critical for the FBI. It's the basis of everything we do, and really we wouldn't be able to accomplish anything we do successfully without those strong partnerships in place. And as an example on the MMIP issue, we've got multiple levels of engagement across the board, whether it's the local, state, federal, or tribal partners. To include Albuquerque Police Department, Gallup Police Department, New Mexico Office of the Attorney General, and Navajo Nation Division of Public Safety. And that's really just to name a few of those agencies themselves. But at the end of the day, we're really looking at all of those agencies with a shared common goal of finding or resolving those sort of MMIP cases, and then obviously supporting the families, and that's just as important.
Well, let's talk to Donald now. Have you had any surprises in your findings, and what are you most proud of?
So one of the things that we're proud of and was a little surprised with was the response from the community when we started this project. Because we couldn't be where we are today right now without the public's help. It's what we know, because the public is our best database. We've also had the opportunity to work directly with the families. We were part of the Missing in New Mexico Day, the most recent Gathering of Nations. We got to hear directly from the families that are impacted by this and to hear their stories, and also what we could do to improve this process, because we could always do better on this. But that's also meaningful. It helps drive the work we're doing, motivates us, and honestly speaking personally, this is some of the best work I've had the opportunity to be part of since I've been with the FBI.
Yeah, taking a look at the big picture, it's been a year since the FBI launched this initiative. What are the main takeaways here, and what do you want the public to know?
I think the most important thing for the public to know is to report a missing individual as soon as possible to local law enforcement. We've got nearly a year of data on this, and now what we see is if they can report someone missing really within the first 0 to 5 days, that's the quickest opportunity for law enforcement to help resolve that case versus longer. Trust your instincts. If a family member hasn't done their normal check-ins, please reach out to local law enforcement so that they have the opportunity to start working those investigations.
Yeah, that's just one way we can get involved, right? So we're going to put this information on our website, kob.com, including a link on the FBI's missing persons cases.